Sorry.
Ooh, welcome to an episode of a very spooky NoLife Tech podcast. It's a spooky episode because it is Halloween. Was that a spooky enough voice?
I give it about 3 out of 5 stars.
That's not bad.
It's adequate.
That's pretty spooky.
It's my goals for life is just adequate.
I mean, it was a good Count Chocula impression.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going for. Oh, very spooky. Hey, guess what? I hate costumes that are like supposed to be clever. Just be a fucking cowboy, or be a vampire, or be a monster, or a ghoul.
Or a slutty cowboy, or a slutty ghoul.
Yeah. Don't be something where you gotta be like, oh, you're this and then that? Oh. Or where you have to make someone fucking think about your costumes. That's fucking dumb.
As somebody who has gone to a Halloween party dressed as Arthur Dent from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and nobody got it? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I had the bathrobe on. I had my towel. The only way I could tell people it was me, I just had my copy of Hitchhikers with me, and it was just like, oh, I'm from this book.
Yeah.
It's gotta be a blatantly obvious clever is the problem.
Just be
slutty. Just be slutty Mario.
Here's the trick. Here's a tip. If you don't have a costume, go to the store. You get a cowboy hat. It costs $2. You're a cowboy. There's nothing else you need to be a cowboy other than a cowboy hat. You don't need a badge. You don't need a horse. You just need a cowboy hat. That's what I am. That's what I'm going to be for Halloween.
And then just only wear that and be like, yeah, I'm a slutty cowboy.
Yeah, or that. Exactly.
That's like my one complaint with like Halloween costumes is just like, here's costumes for girls. And they all pretty much have the word slutty in them.
or like sassy, you know?
It's
sassy
so
cowboy, cowgirl. Yeah, Halloween, I am starting to hate it because of these stupid fucking costumes. But that's neither here nor there. We got tech news to talk about.
Well, the only like clever one I've seen that I've really enjoyed, it was on Reddit a couple of years ago, so you guys probably saw it. The dude who was a chair. Did you guys see the dude who was just a fucking chair?
No.
Like
Let's see if I can find it.
He was a love seat, basically, like a little love seat chair, had cushions, and he actually figured out how to make it so he could like squat down and just be a chair and have someone sit on it until he got up and scared them. Like that kind of clever, I'm all for.
There's been a few ones on Twitter I've seen that I like. Like there's the one where it's you guys remember the second Aliens movie? Mm-hmm. Where she gets into like the robot thing to fight the alien queen.
Yeah.
And it's just this dad who's like in the robot outfit and his daughter's like sitting in the cockpit. And I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
clever, and I like that.
Okay, if you have kids, you can dress up as anything you want because that's what the holiday's for. It's for children, you know, and parents and children. If you are some 30-year-old man and you're going to a singles Halloween party and you dress up as, I don't know, fucking the dude from Scrubs or something. No.
You dress up as Bob Ross.
Yeah, no, it's not. The Halloween's for kids, okay? It's for candy and for fucking telling ghost stories. Be a cowboy. If you want to listen to our thoughts on Red Dead Redemption, you can check out the No Life Gaming podcast, which we just aired. It's a phenomenal game.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah, I don't have much in the way of that's all I've been doing is playing Red Dead. Haven't been watching any movies or reading any books, thinking at all. I've just been playing Red Dead, just in a zone. And I've also been waiting for the Apple keynote because I'm super excited for the iPad. But before we get into that, we have some news. Probably going to be a short show. We don't have too much to talk about. Intel partners with Streamlabs to create Twitch mini PCs, which is kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting here.
It's interesting, but it's really weird at the same time.
Yeah.
Just because, I of course obviously saw that link and was very interested and checked it out, and it's a NUC.
Yeah.
Which means you're not going to play games on it.
Yeah.
You could probably use it as like an encoding PC.
That's
just
really
fine.
awesome.
That'd be great. But you're not going to play games on it. So it's just like labeling it as the stream PC or whatever is a little misleading, I think, to people who might not know how to stream on that level.
So you think some people might think it's a PC that you can stream with and game on at the same time?
Yeah, possibly. Or that, or like they're just gonna their cooking show or something, you know, like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna get this. I'm gonna rent a Nook for $30 a month when I could just buy one that would do the job for $400. Like,
yeah, I see what you're saying. It's definitely, if you're the person that's going to get this, it's definitely probably a little bit more advanced. You know, you're going to need to know all the encoding stuff. You're going to need to know how to set all that shit up. It's not just like you just get in and start going. But as a monthly sort of service, and I like the idea of a little dedicated encoder, because I've been thinking about getting an eGPU and kind of doing stuff that way with my MacBook, which I use as like the office PC or the office computer. But now I can just have the Nook, which will do all my OBS sort of encoding and kind of just leave the laptop be, which would be nice.
But it's also $30 a month. How long are you going to keep that for? Would be my question.
Yeah, that I would have to just buy one then. I would have to buy one. I wouldn't rent it. That's kind of dumb.
Because I'm pretty sure you can make that one for like $400. Because I was just looking at Nooks today, related to other stuff later.
Yeah. I don't understand the renting thing.
And it's not even the Coffee Lake. This is Cabby Lake. So this is now a 2 generation old Nook.
Yeah, I don't understand. That is expensive. $30 a month.
Yeah.
For a Cabby Lake strictly for encoding. That is kind of odd. It's not as cool as I thought anymore. Not as cool. And it's ugly as all hell. It is not a nice looking Nook in any sense of the word.
Oh, those ones have actually skyrocketed in price because there's none left because this company probably bought them all.
This shuttle company?
Yeah. Or like someone else, because now for an i5 Cabby Lake Nook is apparently cheapest is $725 on Intel's website.
Ooh.
But you can get the i5 Coffee Lake, which is better for like $300.
Interesting.
You know, so yeah.
They say with its broadcast PC slated for release later this fall, they'll be offering streaming bundle, which includes a webcam, USB microphone, headset, gaming keyboard, and a mouse. But then you gotta pay monthly for it. Nah. This is dumb. This is dumb. It's not worth it. This little tiny PC market is an interesting one. All right, moving on.
Yeah, okay. You can buy a Cabby Lake one for $370. And then spend an extra $100.
What else is with it? What kind of RAM? What kind of storage?
No RAM, no storage.
Ooh.
You can get that same 250 gig hard drive that's in it for $60. You can get 8 gigs of RAM that will work with it for $66. So it'll be about $485.
Makes sense.
Or $30 a month. So if you're using it for more than 2 years,
right?
Yeah.
And you would be. It's just if you're just using it for encoding, you probably would.
You don't need much.
But you might as well just build one. Now you can just upgrade it. You're gonna want to upgrade them. You know, might as well just build a tiny piece, MITX PC. All right, moving on. You can now view multiple emails, multiple accounts at once in Gmail iOS app. Which is nice.
Yeah.
That's actually really nice.
Okay. Yeah, that's about 10 years late, but that's awesome.
I don't know why. You know Google, they don't want to give nothing to iOS.
Yeah, it's both. It's both of them, dude.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing that drives me up the wall is I'm all for competition, but sometimes it in some ways it helps it helps all of us consumers a lot, and in some ways it really fucking doesn't.
Yeah,
And
I don't
you
use
know,
Gmail. I don't use Gmail anymore. I use Spark Mail, which I think is nice. Outlook is great as well. You just use Outlook. They work great on both platforms. I don't know. I'm kind of sour on Gmail after that whole story. Moving on. Twitter is thinking about removing the like button, which is a very interesting conversation because I think they should absolutely keep the like button. I think Twitter does a good job of that because there's only a like button, there's only a retweet button, and you can quote retweets. I think YouTube and Reddit, the downvote button is where problems arise. I think when you can dislike things or downvote things, that's where problems arise. If you can only like things, then there's a baseline level of, okay, this is, if there's no likes on something, then it's just like you can just ignore it. But when something is like negative or downvoted negatively, there's like a animosity that starts to build. You know what I mean? And I see it a lot on YouTube. You know, people use the downvote button as almost like a weapon. And I do not like that. I want YouTube to remove the dislike button immediately. I think it's terrible. And you can't remove it. You can only remove ratings completely. I would like an option to just remove the dislike button, period. And I think everyone would do it if they gave you that option.
Bunch of special snowflakes. No, I mean, YouTube, it matters less to me because the way that algorithm works, everything's a plus. And Reddit, I think that affects me a lot more because that is a scale of it's just an up or down system. So I think like downvoting on Reddit actually does matter to that post. It will limit how much people see that post, while with YouTube, everything's better for publicity.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But I think on the YouTube side,
which
you get a 12-year-old kid. You get a 12-year-old kid who wants to upload his Minecraft video, and maybe he's a little cringy, and then you have a bunch of grown men, dislike bombing his video.
Oh yeah,
that's a problem. That's not fun. That's a toxic thing that's so easily removable. It doesn't add anything to the conversation. Doesn't do anything. So
it just gives us top 10 lists.
I do understand the Reddit side of it because it does have a function where it kind of buries it lower. So dumb posts and dumb comments are just buried.
I think that's a good conversation to have, but it's just weird. Twitter just has to get their shit figured out. Twitter has to know what the fuck Twitter wants to be. Because I feel like Twitter hasn't known what it's wanted to be for a while.
I think it just doesn't need to be anything. I think it's literally just people just spewing shit. And that's what it's always been.
And that and a handful of journalists. Like that's all it is.
I love Twitter. I think it's great.
I think it's too, but it's so weird. Always like, this is the conversation every 3 months. Is like they're doing this month.
Yeah, leave it alone. You want to make more money? Figure out a different fucking app or like Twitter is fine. You don't need to fuck it up. Look at Facebook. Facebook is the perfect example of what happens when you just say yes to every fucking item that comes across your list. Oh, let's add marketplace. Let's add, targeted demographic ads. Let's add the dislike button. Let's add the like button. Let's add this feature. And then you just like, you look at the messenger alone and there's 100 different fucking things you can do in just the messenger.
Yeah. And I mean, but like, where I mean that by Twitter too is just like Twitter. I feel like anyone who's in charge of Twitter just doesn't know what Twitter is. That's more what I mean, because like they've just never had consistency across how they handle. I mean, now it's taking the like button away because 3 months ago everyone was pissed at them because it took them too long to ban Alex Jones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then Kanye comes out and he has a mental breakdown and is like, I want people to commit suicide because of the likes that they get. And it's just like, not really. Not really. It's the opposite. They commit suicide because of the amount of likes they don't get.
Yeah. Like it's partially that, but it's just how it's been managed to an extent where it's like I they don't know what the fuck they want it to do or are doing.
Well,
So it's where everyone's along for the ride, including them, which is fun.
yeah,
But it's also kind of fucked up at the same time.
but I completely understand the position that Jack and Mark Zuckerberg feel like they're in, because they created a social platform where nothing like that existed before, and they just wanted to bring people together, and they thought, this is how you make money. You get people together and you allow them to talk to each other, which is a very altruistic thing. And then all of a sudden, in their next couple years, you are now directly thrown in the middle of international warfare. You are now, you have to have these journalistic integrities. You are now moral authority. You are now the master of public space and public discourse. And these guys are just, normal dudes who just wanted to make some money cashing in on an app. And that's difficult to deal with for sure.
No, yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you there.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things where all of the other ones have figured out at least a somewhat consistent message of what they're trying to be. Like, I mean, like there's times where it just feels like Twitter's the business company, or like, Twitter's the business that started up in like they don't have a business statement.
Yeah. Like, I mean, how do you explain Twitter to someone?
Yeah, like that's what it feels like sometimes, where it's like every other company in the world can just like point at like that's our goal. That's our mission statement. Twitter definitely doesn't have a fucking mission statement. That's what it feels like.
Yeah. But it also is kind of its own thing too. Like the tweet the tweet is a very powerful word, to tweet something. But yeah, I agree. It is an interesting thing, and I think killing the like button, I mean, that's gonna hurt their company. I truly believe that's gonna hurt their company unless they can track what you click on. When that brings up they might as well like it. That's the only way they will be able to curate your timeline, because they do it now with likes. If you like something, they show you more of what you like.
And I'm sure they can do that, but it's I mean, that old meme, name a more iconic duo, Twitter and doing something to harm itself. Like, gosh,
it's been through a lot. I think leave it alone. Just shut the fuck up and leave it alone. Let it just be the Twitter, the place where people just go, blah. That's all Twitter is. You just blurt things out. But
I mean, I realize that's not gonna make them money, but
yeah, you want to make money.
It's already been 9 years. You should have figured that out, before you started.
You want to make money, then start fucking farming everyone's data. That's the only way to do it with your platform. Otherwise, you're going to have to make a new platform. All right, moving on to something that I'm very, very excited about. Audio-Technica makes its best-selling M50X wireless or headphones wireless. The M50X Bluetooth edition come in at less than $200 with a 40-hour battery life, but no USB-C. I don't care about USB-C. You're using
micro, isn't it?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'm okay. I
mean,
with that.
a lot of these
are these bad boys here.
I do wish it was USB-C though.
Oh, for sure.
That's just the whole like.
For sure, I do.
I threw out my my army of every phone charger from the last 20 years. Like, I don't got micro USBs coming out of my ass anymore like I do USB-C.
Yeah.
Or even just USB, anything.
No, I agree. I wish it was USB-C, but it's just the charge, really.
Yeah. But at the same time, no, that's a really sick headphone. If they actually pull off really good audio quality, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I'm very curious on how they're doing it. I'm assuming they're just adding a Bluetooth dongle, to it, and then just keeping the sound signature the same. But it says here the sound driver inside each ear cup has been tuned to match the sonic signature of their previous model, and the built-in digital to analog converter further ensures a consistent sound no matter what device is connected. And you can wire it up with a 3.5 plug if you needed to, which is nice.
Yeah, that is nice. The only thing that scares me there is we included a DAC. And that the only reason why that scares me now is like everyone and their mother has a DAC now, and it's lost its meaning to me in a way.
Yeah. I mean,
Because like example, OnePlus now has $20 USB-C headphones that apparently have a DAC built in. Get the fuck out of here.
yeah.
Like,
Well,
like,
all it really does is convert the ones and zeros into audio.
yeah, like
Literally
so you're
audio.
saying you built a headphone and you're just saying it's a DAC because
Yeah.
technically that is what it is, but it used to have a different connotation.
Right. It used to mean, it used to add quality and drive, your headphones, but now you're right. It's just like a buzzword. Equipped with Bluetooth 5, support for AAC and aptX codecs. They're rated for 40 hours on a charge. They look exactly the same. I'm probably gonna pick them up for sure. I'm probably gonna pick them up.
That's really tempting to be honest.
I would
Like,
love it if they had
I-
like a W2
good
chip in
headphones.
it, which would be nice, but can't ask for everything.
I
Yeah.
don't, because fuck your proprietary bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, these are the headphones that I put on when I need a closed back headphone. You know what I mean? I throw these on and I know the sound that I'm getting is quite reference. It's not exactly reference, just a little bit more on the bass. But they are very close to reference. They sound great. They're just solid headphones and they're so comfortable. But I will say, I lie. The earpads that they come with are comfortable, but if you get the brainwaves, it's a whole world of difference. Get the brainwaves if you have M50Xs. You get them on Amazon, they're like $20. They come in all different colors, and they dramatically increase the comfort. Because I do find the clamp is a little tight, but I do have a bigger head. All right, the OnePlus 6T has been released. So this is where we talk about the OnePlus 6T, which is their flagship line.
Yeah, they only have a flagship line.
Oh, really? Well,
Yeah.
what's the OnePlus 6? It's not a flagship line?
It was a flagship. It was just a flagship. They just release a phone every 6 months because they're fucking crazy.
So this is their S model.
Basically, yeah, they do the TikTok as of the last 3 years. They just do it every 6 months instead of every year.
Dude, I don't like how they're following Apple's lead on some things. I really don't.
I don't either, but I had a fucking meltdown watching this yesterday because it's gonna be on Verizon.
Yeah.
And I'm a Verizon customer, so I've always been interested in OnePlus, but it's never been available to me.
Right.
But that just opened up a world of opportunities where I was going in to buy a phone next month thinking, okay, it's going to be an XR or an XS. And now it's, wow, that's half the price.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I think this is the Android phone to get easily. This is easily the if you're comparing it to a Pixel, which would be, I mean, what's the other competition? The Pixel or the Samsung Note or the Samsung Galaxy, which is cheap as well. The Galaxy has come down in price dramatically, so this is not a very competitive price in that sense when you compare it to the Samsung, but it's still half the price of the competition. And you're getting a gorgeous display with a very minimal teardrop notch, which looks great.
the notch looks really fucking good.
Yeah, that's a great way
I
to
mean, for a
implement it.
notch that like actually look, it's like the first notch I've seen where I'm like, I mean, Apple I've gotten used to,
Yeah,
and I like theirs more until this phone came out. I like theirs the most,
yeah, me too.
like by far. But now seeing that, it's just like, I mean, dude, human beings like curves.
Yeah,
Like you can find that, like that's an objective fact. And just doing a tiny little teardrop that's actually got really nice curves on it looks good.
it looks.
It doesn't take up a lot of space. It looks good.
And that's all you need. What Google didn't understand is no one needed 2 fucking front-facing cameras and then a big ass speaker grill on the front like that. Do it this way, and then you can add a lot more screen real estate. There's a little bit of a chin, which hopefully they can remove by next iteration.
That's true, but I've been looking up more and more comparisons of it. The chin. Honestly, I think they took really bad marketing photos. Because all of their photos, the chin looks way bigger But then when you actually put it side by side to like any other phone or even like their old ones, like the OnePlus 6, it's a lot fucking smaller. So it's really weird that like in the pictures the chin does look big, but putting it up next to other phones, it's not that it doesn't seem as nearly as big.
No, especially compared to like a Pixel. It's way smaller than a Pixel.
It's way small. I mean, it's smaller than a Pixel. It's smaller than a Note.
Yeah.
Like it's small. It's actually not that big. It's just I think the angle it's taken at.
Yeah, maybe it's just the way that they render it. It just sticks out more in renders.
Because I mean, screen ratio wise, it's 86%.
Yeah.
Like screen to body at the iPhone's only 84.
Yeah, and it's also an AMOLED 1440p display. So you're getting just a. Oh, it's not 1440?
No, it's 1080. OnePlus has always done 1080.
Okay.
Which is honestly still fine because it's still 404 PPI.
I mean, you're still a $550 phone as well.
It's a $550 phone, but it's still 400 pixels per inch. Like,
yeah, that's fine.
That's 100 more than the XR.
Yeah, you're not. When you're at these levels of dimension, resolution, it's more about the pixels per inch than the resolution. And
it's PPI, but it's the actual screen quality.
Yeah, screen quality and PPI.
Like
the resolution really doesn't matter because resolution is relative to size. That's why a 4K TV and a 4K monitor, they look different. The 4K monitor just looks sharper, more crisp because it's a smaller size and it can fit more pixels into, that's why they're also more expensive. But yeah, the screen quality I'm sure is probably great. It's probably a great screen. The best part about it, in my opinion, is the fingerprint sensors on the front. It's under the screen. They're one of the only companies that do it.
They're the first in the U.S. There's some Chinese companies that have done it before, and I mean OnePlus is Chinese.
Yeah, but you're not gonna get the fucking Vivo Nex phone,
No, you're not. And
it's the phone you're gonna get.
I'm like, I've heard mixed feelings on the fingerprint sensor because it is a Gen 1 product in all aspects, basically.
It probably is not that good. Probably a little slow.
It's a little slow, and I've heard until you've really rolled your finger on it a bunch, it's not always going to instantly pick it up.
Yeah.
Which that's a hit.
Well, I will say the Face ID, it doesn't work 100% of the time, and that fucking 2% that it doesn't work, you notice it. Though for some reason you just notice it when it doesn't work, but the 99% of the time you don't notice it. So when you're unlocking your phone, you will notice it when it doesn't unlock, which is annoying. But I mean, once you get in your phone, look how nice of a screen you have. That's the nice thing about not having a fingerprint sensor is, you have a nice big old screen. You don't have one on the back, so you can fit whatever else that you need on there, more battery or whatever else is in the way.
They also have a face unlock thing. It's from everything I've seen from it, it's fast as fuck. Don't trust it, but it's fast.
Probably not secure.
No, I don't trust it at all, but
It's probably sending your face to China, scanning your fucking face data.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but just especially how fast it is without any extra sensors, like that's I don't think that's going to be 100% accurate at all.
I mean, you got to do the picture test where you hold up the picture. If it unlocks, it's not secure.
Yeah. So I wouldn't recommend that, but I definitely want to get my hands on it. So I'm probably going to go out Thursday.
It's definitely a phone that you need to
I'm going to go to a T-Mobile, check it out. Yeah. Because I'm going to put them all side by side and compare them because I wasn't considering that much because I want to go back to iPhone.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's $550.
That's the competitive nature about it.
They offer a 10% student discount.
Yeah. So what is that?
It'd be like
$500. Yeah, $500. Or that's $550 with the tax included, or whatever. How much tax is?
Yeah, like that's half the price.
But let's talk about the camera.
And we're getting there. The other thing I wanted to harp on was as much as I've always said, like if you're gonna go Android, get stock from Google. They're the next best by far. Like
they're almost stock. They're almost stock. It's better than Samsung.
No, it's just way better than Samsung. It's because it's the team who worked a lot with CyanogenMod, which was fantastic back when that was a thing. But No, it's stock just with some extra changes that are really good.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot of really small, tiny changes that just make the whole experience feel better. Because I have used one and I am jealous of it every time I use it. Because like it's just little things. They just speed up their animations. Like little things like that. Everything looks more fluid. It feels more fluid. There's just little things. They made their own gesture system. Because let's be honest, Google's gesture system's garbage right now.
Is
So
it?
they made so they made one that works better. Like, but there's tons of little things like that. There's little things built into it. Like one that's really compelling to me is there's a lot of screen customization you can do. But one of those is you can set apps up to just go into basically e-ink mode.
That's cool.
So like say you read Medium a lot or like something like that, or like your book app, they'll just open up and just be e-ink. It will turn off everything except like a very light eggshell white and black.
Yeah. Because it's
Like,
OLED, it'll actually turn the LEDs off.
right. And it's just little things like that they've added to it. Like they've only done small little changes that just make it better and more fluid. Like they actually give a shit about it.
Well, that's why they're selling a lot of their fucking phones. That's why a lot of people, when it comes to the Android game, a lot of people they want a OnePlus, but now it's on Verizon, so now there's a reason they can get it. What was it on before?
It was only AT&T and T-Mobile. There's no CDMA, and it's still not CDMA, but it's been approved for LTE finally.
Yeah. So no Sprint yet.
Nah, unfortunately.
I'm sure that'll
come. But
they're
making waves. But the other thing that I thought was really cool, like for software wise, because like that they're doing software probably better than any other Android manufacturer by far.
Mm-hmm.
Like hands down, it's not even close.
Would you say it's better than Google?
It's honestly, it might be getting there, yeah. Like with some of the little things they're doing, where, I mean, it's fucking more stable than stock Android.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, okay. But some screen calibration, that was sick. I don't know if you saw that.
No.
So you have your normal AMOLED. There's by default 5 different modes you can choose from for color calibration, including a custom mode. So you can actually calibrate your screen however you want. There's like a mode for super Samsung-esque saturation.
Right.
There's a P3 copy. There's sRGB mode. Like there's multiple modes, and then there's an adaptive that will attempt to try to figure out what mode it should be in, things like that.
That's pretty dope.
Like there's out of the box, there's a lot of color calibration options, including you can just set it up to calibrate the screen however the fuck you actually want.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. I'm interested in seeing like camera stuff. I don't know how they've been with
the camera is the same as the 6.
So haven't changed it?
The same hardware.
Okay.
They did add some software stuff
Mm-hmm.
that is going on both of them, but the actual hardware is the same as the 6. So if you look up photos from the 6, it's going to be the same.
Are they pretty good? It's probably going to be great for 99% of people.
Yeah, like they're not great. It can't be around the bush. They're not great, but they're definitely in that realm of good enough.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing that I've noticed is a lot of that on software side, that is where they're trying to figure it out and make strides. Like they've been bringing in people. That was part of their keynote, is they're like bringing people in to try to help get the camera to be better. But their camera's bad on the software side. It's not the actual sensor, because I've seen people just get the Google software, that they use on the Pixel that has some of that better HDR. It completely changes the camera.
I wonder what sensor they're using.
Pretty decent camera. 2 Sony sensors.
So pretty much, I think that's
generic.
Well, that was Sony. The Sony ones were last year. I think Samsung cameras are the ones everyone's using this year. But it's doing 4K 60 video, which is nice.
Yeah, I mean it's not. It's a $500 phone. It's not gonna win an award for pictures. It's not going to beat the iPhone. It's not going to beat the Pixel.
That's what I don't
like-
think a lot of people realize that a lot of the cost of a phone is the camera sensor.
Yeah.
Especially when you have to license it out from Samsung or from Sony. It's a lot of the cost. And that's why the Pixel's, $800-900. That's why the iPhone is as expensive it is. It's the screen and it's the fucking camera. That's where the price
And
really
margins.
comes in. And the tax. But the processor and the RAM, that's not, the SSDs, that's not really where the price comes in. It's all of the other shit involved.
But yeah, it is interesting because I think a lot of those problems are on software, and
I'm sure
there's other places you can go to make that camera more than passable.
Yeah, and like I said, 99% of people it'll be fine.
Yeah, like there's definitely times where if I were to buy that phone, I'd probably still want to keep, my iPad or my Pixel with me because it might be able to do something better. But 99% of the time, I'm not a photographer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a very different use case. So someone like me,
I don't have kids yet.
Right.
I don't care.
Someone like me, I'm constantly taking mostly video on my phone, so I need a good video camera on my phone, and that's a big reason why I choose the phones that I do. It's one of the reasons why I chose the Samsung S7 back then was because it was one of the first phones to do 4K video, and that was a big reason. It was really the only reason why I got it, and it had external storage.
But I'm also in that position where I have backups.
No headphone jack.
No headphone jack.
No headphone jack was such.
It really fucking sucks.
They got rid of the fingerprint sensor and then they removed the headphone jack. Why?
They did. Because the battery is actually 400 milliamp hours bigger.
Yeah, but I think in this case, people would much rather have the headphone jack.
I agree.
And then chop the. Just because this is the phone that where people who want a headphone jack, they're like, dude, my phone's got everything and the headphone jack.
And I mean, that was me. Like, that's still me. Like, I wish it had a headphone jack. I do.
Yeah, it's rough.
But
you can't always get what you want.
But I'm sitting here saying, like, it's not the end of the world to me because I'm sitting here saying, oh yeah, the other phone I might buy is it's an iPhone.
Yeah.
I've already accepted that fact long ago that the next phone I'm going to buy is going to be headphone jack.
You've accepted the fact that the headphone jack is gone. The 3.5 millimeter jack is and like, that's cool, but at least this gives you the dongle in the box. Where iPhone, you don't get a dongle, dude. You're going to have to buy a dongle if you get an iPhone.
Which is absurd to me, but it is what it is.
That's how they make $1 trillion.
But another thing that they've done,
Oxygen OS, that's what they call it, by the way.
Yeah, and they've done a fantastic job with it. To be honest,
really nice.
Like, and also everyone anytime I've used it, anyone I've heard talk about it, it's just fucking butter, and that's what you want.
I will say the curves do look a bit odd. There's something odd about all of the curviness. It's not bad. It's just different. It's really different. It's kind of interesting.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. That's part of the reason why I think I'm getting hyped on it. Is because my favorite phone I've ever owned was the Motorola X. Like that, and that's why I'm stoked on this to an extent. Is because my favorite phone ever was a $500 phone.
Yeah. In
a land of $800 phones. It was like the Moto X was that one phone for me that was like, oh. No, we're gonna make a phone that actually feels good to hold, and it's good enough, and it's cheap enough. It doesn't have to be the fastest thing in the world. The cameras, everything was adequate enough, but it was just the right shape at the right price.
Well, speaking of shape, this is a big phone. That's the thing
This is a Note territory phone.
And I don't know why they don't do two options. I guess that's the reason why they can charge the way that they do, because they're only making one phone.
Yeah, and that's really, for me, that is the biggest deal breaker.
Yeah,
is if I can handle a Note or not, because it's a 6.41 inch screen.
Yeah,
which is bigger than the Note and bigger than the XS Max. It's a phablet. It's a big fucking phone.
Yeah, it kind of. I think when you go and you're gonna hold them side by side, you're gonna hold the XS, you're gonna hold the XR, you're gonna hold the One Plus. Because let's be honest, I don't think you're gonna be looking at any other phones because
No.
the Pixel's kind of a joke, unless you want the Pixel 3 regular, which is a nice phone.
It is, but it when
But
it
it's
comes
also
down
more,
to
it's more expensive and you're
when
not really getting much.
the Pixel 3 right now, especially too, that this phone's offering to me, the Pixel 3 is in a spot where it's $300 more. The only thing that's better on it is the camera.
Yeah.
It's $300 more. Literally everything else is worse
Yeah.
than the camera.
Yeah, I would say the speakers are probably better on the Pixel as well.
And the speakers. I've never understood. I mean, that's a personal thing.
I understand it this year. I do understand it this year.
Okay, but because you don't have a headphone jack.
Well, just watching
I'm kidding,
when you have
but-
stereo coming out of the phone and you watch a lot of YouTube on your phone, it does make a difference. Like it sounds so much better than the 8 that I had last year.
It does, but I put in headphones.
Right.
I don't listen.
It won't affect you
I don't
that
want to
much.
listen to that garbage, even if it's good garbage. Like I have nice speakers and headphones.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use those.
Yeah. But I watch a lot of shit on my phone, so it does. I mean, nice speakers on a phone is nice. It's nice to have. But that being said, like you said,
it's not $300 worth.
Yeah, I don't know if it's $300 worth. The
Not
camera,
not for my use cases.
even the camera might not be because it's just the camera. The video on the Pixel is fucking garbage.
It is.
From the videos I've seen off the Pixel, it's the worst out of. I don't know what they're doing on their video side. Maybe it's their codec. They need to get off VP9. They need to get on the fucking.
It's entirely a fucking camera.
Yeah.
Not a video camera. No,
The video is so bad.
I've always hated it for video. Like Like there's if you can put it in the exact right situation, it will be good. And then
any other situation. So.
Yeah.
I bet
But
you
I mean, if you're at
the
that
One
point,
Plus
you're
has a
like,
better
it's still
video
a
camera. I bet you
camera.
the One Plus has a better video camera than the Pixel. If it's using Sony sensors, I can almost guarantee it.
Yeah. Then hey, if with the right software, it's probably a pretty decent camera then.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm thinking it's either iPhone, you either go to the Apple side,
And
or
then
you go to this thing.
The thing
And then it's the size. You're gonna feel it, and I think the iPhone is gonna feel better. But you're gonna look at the One Plus, you'll be like, this is more of like I get a lot more features out of it. But then you're gonna go back to the iPhone, and you're gonna be like, this feels. You're gonna be stuck in a pretty tough choice.
I know. And it's one of those things where I do hate that I can get this phone now because now it's basically go big or go home. It
Yeah.
I can't justify the XR
Yeah.
because it's I mean I could have lived with the XR screen, but I can't be like it's a $500 phone that's got a way better fucking screen.
Yeah.
When the screen's what everything you see.
Yeah. I think as soon as you get them in your hands, it's gonna come down to the feeling of it.
Yeah, so it's gonna be $550 versus
Good boy.
$1,000, which is, I mean, that's a big chunk of change. But let's just say, after a lot of these Apple things coming out, I'm gonna have that change.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. It's interesting. It's such a compelling phone.
For the price, it really is.
It's a really competitive phone.
Oh, and we didn't even say. Oh yeah, $550 gets you 6 gigs of RAM and 128 gig hard drive.
Yeah, that's
580 gets you 8 and 128. So if you want to actually match it, it's what, $850 or $900 phone, and then a $1,100 phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so competitive. No wireless charging, but who cares?
It's no wireless. Yeah, like it does. Well, it does kind of suck that it's not wireless charging because it is a glass back.
Oh, it is.
It's a glass back, but it's not wireless charging.
Wonder why they left it out.
Because their dash chargers are that fucking good. That's
What is a dash
really why.
charger?
Okay, the dash charger it's a OnePlus only charger, and it works with their batteries and the software wise. It's I mean it's basically makes it so your phone can just take, I think it used to be 6 amps. I think it's more now. It, I mean it.
But you plug it in. It's not a wireless charger.
Right. It's a plug-in charger. It's a standard charger, but I mean I've seen those things like completely charge a phone in 20 minutes before.
Oh, well, that's not too bad then.
Which
I mean, I don't really care about wireless.
Good,
I don't really care about wireless charging. It is nice when like you go to like a Starbucks and they have the pads there. You can just drop your phone down. But other than that, I really don't use it that much.
Which I mean, like it would be. Don't get me wrong, guy. That is a shitty feature that I wish it had.
Yeah.
But it's one of those. Again, do I care that much for that price? Because $1,000 is a lot to ask for a phone. When I'm not the power user on my phone I used to be. And that's also because I'm older. I have all of my shit. Like, I use my phone to check Twitter and read articles when I'm taking a shit and watch videos occasionally.
Yeah.
Like, I don't necessarily need...
That's why I wish this one was smaller. I'm the same way now. I only use my phone. I use my phone for a lot of media consumption and reading and stuff like that. And I love the smaller size. Like the iPhone 8 and the XS Max, which Kate has, it's huge. It's a huge phone. And then she uses her phone all the time. So it makes sense for her to have it's not on her iPad all the time. She's not on her laptop all the time. She doesn't have a desktop she sits at. She's on her phone. So for her, that's kind of that's why having a big phone would matter for her. But me, I like having a little thing in my pocket. If I want to check my Twitter, Instagram, social media, drop some files somewhere. It's nice having that small portable size. So if they would have released, I don't know what this size is. What is this? A 5.8 or something? This is a nice size.
Like a five something.
If they would have released that, oh man, that would be the phone to get. And and if they had a better camera, I would definitely think about getting one.
But like it's definitely.
That's a big phone. That's huge.
Yeah, it is.
That's
it's
huge.
No, But like with that screen to
huge.
body size, it should be smaller, hopefully. But you know what? I'll let you know next week.
Yeah, I'm very interested in knowing. Are you gonna buy one definitely, or are you gonna just go look at them?
Fuck no, dude. If it's over $500, I window shop. Like I'm not spending $500 to $1,000.
When do you plan on upgrading?
Contract's up Black Friday.
So soon.
Yeah, but I mean, if I go in Thursday and like it enough, I do have a trip coming up to Vegas that, a phablet could be really nice on a plane for. Just throwing that out there.
Well, all right. Well, moving on to the Apple keynote. They released the new iPad Pro, and I fucking ordered one as soon as the keynote ended. I had to. Hey.
Was really tempted to. Because speaking of tablets and phablets, like, dude, the iPad Pro, they hit it out of the park. The iPad Pro looks amazing. I'm going to be honest, it's the only thing they released today that was really compelling to me.
For sure. This is the only thing they released in a while that's really compelling.
The Air is up there.
Air's cool.
Like, Air is up there. It's cool. But like, let's be honest, the iPad Pro is fucking sick. Awesome.
It's a revolutionary upgrade.
It's gonna be so fucking stupidly fast. It's actually annoying to me though at the same time. Yeah. Because I'm annoyed because they've done so many things right with this iPad.
But you want like a Mac OS on it.
Yeah. No, now this like looking at that iPad and everything they're showing, their whole stupid mantra of what's a computer? That's your fucking opportunity. Like, use it. Do something with it. Like, the software is behind the hardware now.
Yeah.
With that iPad, that's what it feels like to me. I like, obviously that could completely wrong, but like, it looks so good. It's gonna be fast as hell. It looks dope. Everything seems to work great on it. Like, if you could just take that and just put a fucking real browser on it and just say you can use a mouse, if it can recognize a mouse when a mouse is plugged into the USB-C.
Mm-hmm.
Like not any other time. Like you don't want a mouse all the time, but like if you plug in a mouse, it can recognize it. It has a full browser on there, and like you
that'd be
can
so dope.
have some slightly better like SSH apps or something I can connect to a server, because they have some that are pretty decent. But like if you did that, you don't need a computer then for me.
Yeah.
Like you don't. If you can port JetBrains onto it and have a fucking mouse, like
it's almost there. It's almost there. I think we'll see when iOS 13
the fucking thing's
comes
gonna be
out.
faster than the fucking Mac Mini.
It's faster than a lot of fucking.
Yeah.
Their chip is insane. This A12 Bionic chip is insane.
Fucking mouse on it.
Yeah. They were saying the graphics capabilities surpass the Xbox.
No, they said it's gonna match an Xbox One S, and that's
Which is
marketing
dope.
bullshit.
Which is
No,
dope.
I'm saying that's marketing bullshit.
You think?
No, it looks really fucking good, but it's still not the same. And I know that because they showed, when they were showing off games, like they showed a sports game. There was only 20 people there, and if you boot that game up on an Xbox, there's fucking 1,000.
You're saying like the audience members,
right? So it's not there yet, but holy fuck, is it almost there? It's super good. Like I'm not knocking it, but I'm calling out that marketing bullshit.
Yeah, I didn't notice that. It looked like 2K to me.
It is, but like if you really look at the audience, I mean, it's.
Well, it doesn't have the raw teraflops,
right?
You
know? Which that's when I guess I'm pointing out where it's like that's where it's marketing bullshit. It looks amazing, but you still have to think it is. I mean, it's the current way better version of the Switch.
Yeah. I mean, this thing, the new pencil came out with it. The new smart keyboard. The pencil looks awesome. It's got tap controls. It's a little bit smaller. It's got a flat side, so it's easier to hold. And then it snaps to the side.
The snapping to the side is really cool. As a current user of a Surface, you have no idea how much you're going to love having a flat surface on it.
Oh yeah,
it makes such a world of difference.
Yeah, it does.
It's insane.
It does. It's a little uncomfortable, because I have the first gen pencil, and just it's a completely round cylindrical thing, and it kind of presses on your thumb bone a little bit. So a flat surface is definitely going to help out.
But I mean, the way it snaps on top and starts charging just like that, it's fucking sick.
It's awesome. I mean, the screen, the way that the bezels work, they went with the 5S design, so it's got like these flat edges, so it's easy to hold. They just made all the right moves on it. Whoever's on the iPad team needs to go to the iPhone team, in my opinion.
Yeah, the iPad's fucking fantastic. I still think the keyboard folio bullshit looks like garbage and doesn't look comfortable.
I have the first gen one. It's fine.
I hate it, dude. I could never fathom spending $160 on it.
It's fine. You can always get like the aftermarket ones that.
I'd go aftermarket.
You can always connect a mechanical to it too.
That's what I was gonna say. I'd go buy a And Pro for $40.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I hate those keyboards, dude.
Yeah, I like them just because they're ergonomic to the device, and then the way that the iPad Pro here has it, the pencil kind of snaps to the top of it, which is nice. So whenever I'm doing,
but it's gonna do that now, anyways.
Yeah, now it's gonna do it, and also, the keys are squishy on it, which I don't like. I wish they could go for like actual mechanical keys or some type of like chiclet key.
It's $160 fucking membrane keypad that you used to be able to buy at the dollar store.
Yeah,
like that's what they feel like.
Yeah,
which is like I can't like. I love aesthetics. No.
Yeah, Logitech makes a couple good ones, and then there was the Bridge one.
Bridge makes a really good one,
but they're a lot the Bridge is bulkier. It's a lot bulkier.
It is, but like
they need to slim that thing.
If
down.
you want an actual keyboard on it, though, I'm okay with that. Like if you put a mechanical keyboard on it, it's going to be bulky.
Yeah, I'm not too upset about the Smart Folio just because I'm pretty quick on it. It's not too bad for me. All right, what else do we have here? We have the A12X, which is super fast. We know that. I mean, you're just getting the most
chip with a 7-core GPU.
Yeah.
Like
and a Apple neural engine, so it does all this Apple shit a lot faster.
That's like gonna be terrifying. Like you're gonna be able to use that for 5 years, hopefully. Which
Yeah.
I don't know, probably not actually, because I
Dude,
did.
the new
I was,
iOS update made all these old devices so much snappier. So
yeah,
I can
no,
assume that they're
because
gonna
I
do it
just thought
for.
about that too. I was reading reviews today. I looked up the old. I never want to be that guy who's like, it's enough processing power, because it's not. It's fucking not. Because I was trying to find out the Mac Mini size, and that led me today to a review of the 2014 when it just came out, and that was what this reviewer's first question was like, think, when's enough processing power? We think it's got enough. Last like the 2012 had enough processing power. No, it didn't. Did it? It doesn't. Like,
You can always have more.
you can always have more, and if you do want something to last, like no, you like that's the compelling reason to buy an XS right now. It should hopefully last 3 years
Yeah. And
or
they
more.
do optimize the shit. That's one thing you can trust with Apple is they're gonna optimize their thing as long as your
It-
battery's
it's
good.
yeah, it's optimized, but it's got enough untapped potential there that it's gonna last as everything keeps going faster.
And that's definitely gonna lead into the price. That's why they're, you know, I don't understand why people think Apple is ever going to release a reasonably priced product. They never
Oh
will. They used to, but they
no,
not since like
don't get me wrong.
2012.
We'll get into that later.
Yeah.
'Cause there's some things.
They will
The iPad
never
Pro was-
release something where you're like, wow, that's a good price. That'll never
No,
happen with Apple.
no, no, that's what I'm expecting. But we'll
Yeah.
get into that later. Well, when does Apple tax stop being Apple tax and just fucking highway robbery?
You can't tell the difference anymore.
And that's the thing is like I've always been used to, and I've paid it before, and it's fine. Where it's like 20% or whatever. Like
Well,
it's
this
a
is a
hit.
perfect product where, I mean, I don't care what the fucking price is. This is a product that I want. It's a premium device. There's nothing in its class that's even close to it. You know what I mean?
That's the problem with consumers in America and why fucking capitalism is failing.
There's nothing even close to it. So there's what is the price on this?
I'm kidding.
I
But that's
spent
kind of true.
I spent a lot of money. I got the 12.9 inch in the space gray with the 256 gig with the
I would-
cellular. $1,300 I just spent on this iPad Pro.
I'd get the 256 11.
And that
Whatever,
will
the
cost
10.5.
you. That'll cost you 1,100 with the cellular. If you don't
Oh,
want
no, I'm not
cellular,
getting cellular. No.
so then that'll cost you 950,
Yeah, it was only like 99.50.
which is a good price. That's a good
It's a
price.
lot. Which is,
That's
but
a lot.
again, that leads me into just like that's why they will not put a fucking mouse use on it, because hey, you just made their most competitive product that undercuts every other thing they've ever made.
Yeah, well, also they don't have the software for that. You know, iOS is not meant for a mouse. And
No, I know
hopefully
it's
the
not, but
Marzipan
there's-
stuff, like 13 comes out with Marzipan option, and then they give you that. It looks like they're going that way.
It's a choice though too, because like it's they could do it.
Oh, sure.
They're fucking smart enough.
They have the money.
They have the people. They do things really well. It's just a choice, and it's the fucking wrong choice.
Yeah. Well, maybe for
Unless you
you.
want to make money.
Maybe
and
for you.
fuck over everyone.
Maybe for you, but as a company, it seems like they've been making the right choices in terms of the stats that they showed. I didn't realize that many people were buying iPads. They said like the iPad was
I
the
knew that.
best-selling
iPad-
quote unquote computer ever. Like in terms of like
Yeah,
all the
that's-
Windows.
It's not a fucking computer. Still, fight me. Change my mind. Whatever. But
Well, it still outsells all of the Windows options.
no, yeah,
All of
and it
them.
should. It fucking should, and it should outsell Android. Like if you're in the market for a tablet, you're fucking up if you're not buying an iPad.
Yeah.
Like that's the truth.
I mean, I plan on using this thing for. I don't think once I get this, I hope I don't have to upgrade for another 2-3 years. And
Yeah, but like for me,
that's awesome, man. And when Photoshop comes out, and then I have Premiere on there. I mean, this is awesome. This is a really awesome product. I'm really happy with it.
I think at the end of the day, I might have to wait, and it's mostly just because of its price and my personal work case and use case. It's fucking awesome, and I really want it, and I still might buy one.
Well, for you specifically, a Surface would still be A more useful machine.
I already have one, but it's one of those like, I mean, I'm not the target audience for it. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like I'm the target audience for an iPad.
Mm.
Like until they add those features I was talking about earlier that I'd really like. If you do that, yeah, I'm buying one in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
But like for
That's
right
what I'm
now,
saying.
like I use my iPad like a traditional. I read,
Mm.
I watch YouTube, I watch Twitch. There we go.
Yeah.
And that's a hefty price for that.
And then when the iPad mini comes out, you might be like, wow, this is an interesting thing, but it's going to
And
come out and it's going to be $700, $800. And you're going to be like, why does Apple charge so much? 'Cause that's the thing with Apple, dude. They're going to come out with an awesome product that's compelling, but it's going to be way overpriced. Hopefully.
I don't expect that. Well, I mean, they still have the normal one for $329, and the mini's always usually been like $80 more.
Mm.
So I'm guessing like 400, maybe 450, 700. I mean, they are dumb enough to do it because people are dumb enough to buy it.
Right.
But
and that's the thing with
it's
Apple.
it's not worth that.
You have to realize they will do it. You can't.
No, I know they'll do it, and it's. I don't even blame them so much as I blame fucking idiots. But
if people want those iPads, I mean, I just spent fucking $1,300 on an iPad Pro. You know, it's a lot of fucking dough. That's as much as a fucking laptop with a 4K screen and a full, 64-bit process OS on it. But damn, is it looking nice?
iOS is 64-bit.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. But I know what you mean. I think everyone knows what you mean.
What is it? X86? Is that the right term? X86.
That's what you're thinking.
X86 OS, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm happy. I'm super happy with what they just released. I am super happy with it. When I saw this, I mean, all of the leaks were true, and then everyone was just like, okay, great.
And versus the last gen, it's not that big of a price increase.
No, it's not.
Like the iPad Pro's always been expensive.
It's a little bit more, but it's not that much more. And
it's not that much more for what you actually are getting new out of it.
I tell you what, when I bought this, I had no hesitation. When I bought the MacBook Pro, that's the product where I was just like, there's a lot of competition here. This is a hefty Apple tax on this. And you just feel a little bit of a hesitation buying that. But with this product specifically, and I will say the XS, I had no hesitation. I was like, let's get them. I'm ready to upgrade. And hopefully it'll last. Now we talk about your favorite product, the Mac Mini. Oh. It has been released. The new Mac Mini.
It did get released.
Re-engineered in no small way.
And meaning they did absolutely nothing. Because they did absolutely nothing.
Well,
except use cheaper hardware at $300 increase in price.
Well, it's now got up to 64 gigabytes of DDR4 memory. You can go up to 2 terabytes SSD flash. You can get 10 gigabit Ethernet. It's got 4 Thunderbolt 3 ports on it, HDMI 2.0 port. So that'll run your 4K 60. It's in that stupid fucking little enclosure. It's got a new fan system, so hopefully it cools it correctly, which we shall see. It's T2 Enclave. It's probably got the W chip in it, so you can connect all your, headphones and stuff to it. And then it's got the 8th generation. It can go up to the 8th generation 6-core desktop i7.
And it can. And you know what? Honestly, that's probably about the only one you should buy.
Well, let's see how much it'll cost you.
$1,500 for 128 gig hard drive.
No, we're not getting 128. That's not enough. Well, I mean,
it's not enough. Because you have to remember, it's a Mac Mini. You can't open it anymore.
No, but you can
you have a 128 gigabyte desktop.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Like the thing.
Yeah, but how many people get a PC nowadays with like a 128 NVMe, and then they just get like an SSD on there, or an external hard drive that they kind of just plug in.
So you'd add something that you can't add to this.
Yeah, well, you can add the external hard drive.
Yeah, cool. Like,
but you're paying for it. So let's price it out. So if we go with the i7, which 3.2 goes up to 4.6, we'll add 16 gigs of RAM on it. That seems to be adequate. We'll go up to the 256. You can't even go down to the 128 with that version. And then we'll do the 10 gigabit just for shits and giggle. And then you're at $1,600 for the Mac Mini. And that's high.
That's a fucking highway robbery.
Yeah, that's pretty high.
Like that's why I'm super pissed, because there was a lot of rumors about it being for professionals. It's not for professionals. It's for enterprise.
Yeah.
It's for a server farm. Who, if I was a server farm owner, I would be running out screaming, trying to buy up every stock I could of the old one. Because I priced this out. You can make the same exact computer of the lower end model, the $800 starting price, which has an i3, which is 4 cores, 4 threads, 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gig hard drive. It's a $400 computer in a smaller case.
Yeah. So you're saying the i3, the 4 core model, you're saying, right?
Yep. i3 Coffee Lake 8100. So that's what it is.
Are we gonna do 8 gigs?
I found 8 gigs of laptop memory, and I think $80 or $100 thin ITX is what it's called. It's a smaller ITX that uses laptop memory because that's how they do it.
Mm-hmm.
You get the 8 gigs of same memory. I got a 250 gigabyte SSD because no one's buying a 128 SSD unless you're using it as a boot drive.
Yeah,
as a solo drive,
which they're charging $200 for.
Yeah. And that cost me $411 to put in a Silverstone case. Yeah. That's smaller.
And then we'll add the 10 gig. I mean, if you're getting this for a server, you're getting the 10 gigabit, and then you're at almost $1,000. You're at $900
versus 400. Like that's where I was saying is I'm used to Apple tax. I'm okay with Apple tax because Mac OS is pretty good. So like when it's worth it, I'm used to 20%. I'm not used to 100%.
We'll say the Apple OS is worth $100. So you're at $500. Is the build quality worth $400?
Yeah. Is it?
Well then, all right. Well then we'll add in the 4 Thunderbolt 3. So then we'll add in another $100. We'll add in $150.
See,
Thunderbolt 3 is expensive. So
it is expensive, but it's it's a desktop. You can use 1, like maybe 2. Who the fuck needs 4?
You don't. You can use 1 and use a dock.
Yeah.
And you can use 2.
Having multiple makes a lot more sense on a laptop to me because it's mobile. You're going to need more random crap to plug into it.
I mean, if it's
on your desktop, you're going to plug in one fucking thing to it and you're like, cool, I did it.
Yeah, I still use 1, so I do like it though. Like I do see I'm not gonna get one because there's no graphics. I'm not getting one with no graphics.
Oh, and then there's no graphics. There used to be a graphics chip on it.
No, I'm not getting one with no graphics. That's stupid.
Like, and the actual parts they're using cost less money than they used to. Yeah. Because you used to have an i5 as a baseline, and it used to be $500 for literally more expensive shit they put in it.
Yeah, that's.
And if you want to get crazier, I don't get why they're using desktop chips. Like, it's cool they're using desktop chips, but they didn't need to. And I found that out because I was looking up Nooks all day to make a Hackintosh because I'm that pissed off at the price because I can do that, know how to do that, and already do that. If you get the i5 if you get the i5 Nook that is in the MacBook Pro, you can build the same computer that's the quarter of the size. It's just a slower SSD for $485, and it runs fucking laps around that i3, even though it's a desktop i3, because all of the mobile chips still have hyperthreading because Intel's fuckwads, and you can only get hyperthreading on the i7.
Yeah, the i3 doesn't make any sense.
No.
You're looking at least a $1,500 Mac.
Yeah, the i5 desktop doesn't have hyperthreading. Like literally, you can go, right. you can get a Nook with a mobile i7 for like $600, still be $200 cheaper, that will just run laps in circles around it. And it's like, that's what I was expecting. Like I was expecting, cool, I'll pay an extra $100-$200. Like if it's new and current hardware, I'm totally for that. $800 for a fucking i3, get the fuck out of here. Like even on the show, the i3 is the dumbest fucking processor in the world. It has never made sense for anyone to buy an i3.
Yeah.
You buy a Pentium or you step up to an i5. The i3 has always been this weird deathbed of the only time you should ever buy them is on like a $400 less under PC if it's on sale. Because it's in this weird price point in Intel's hierarchy that it's not so much more. It's a souped up Pentium.
Mm-hmm.
Like the i5 runs circles around it for like $50 more, yet it's $70 or like $50 more than the Pentium that's almost as good as it. So it's mind-boggling to me that they chose an i3. I don't get it. It's aggravating to all get out that they're gonna. It's enterprise now.
It's an enterprise. Which they could charge whatever the fuck they want.
Exactly, because
every enterprise company charges whatever the fuck they want for enterprise hardware. That's just the way it is. It's just unreasonably priced. I don't know why. I don't know if there's a special QA process that goes on with enterprise. I don't know if
it's partially that, but like the only people too.
I can't imagine that it's just build quality that they're taxing. Like there has to be a reason that they're pricing it.
It's mostly reliability, dude.
It's got to be, right? They have to have some sort of QA process with the Mac.
A lot of it's that for server work. The only time you use Mac servers though really is for like Xcode, or if you just money's not an object, because you can totally daisy chain Mac Minis together and it's really cool.
Yeah, I've never seen that
really
before.
Sick server farm out of them. It's just expensive as hell.
They showed that on the thing. I've never seen that.
Yeah, no, it's really cool, but it's never made sense to me unless you need an Xcode server or like a Swift server, a specific proprietary Mac server.
Right. Well, a lot of companies use like Final Cut, like a production facility is doing movies. They'll use Final Cut and they'll just render everything out on compressor and Final Cut, which is only Mac.
If you need those, it totally makes sense. Where it completely flops is you're now expecting $800 for a server that has 128 gigs of fucking 128 gig hard drive.
Yeah, I don't think anyone
you can't replace.
No.
That's the biggest failure point of this is you're expecting it to be a server with a 128 gig hard drive that you can't open if it breaks. Yeah. So if part of your server breaks, you have to ship it to Apple or go into an Apple store with it to be able to fix your hard drive, aka your critical thing your entire business is running off of. Because every other server, the point is, that's why they're racks. You can take it out, you can instantly get at it. So you're like, oh shit, this is what's happening. You can hot replace it, put it back in so it's working, and then take that part out to figure out why it's fucked up.
Yeah, you can't do that with this. You have to take the whole thing out.
Now you have to take the whole thing out, take it to fucking the Apple genius wizards who are fucking idiots, and have them spend a week to replace your fucking tiny ass hard drive. Shoot me, dude.
Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, oh, he's not going to be happy with the Mac Mini.
No.
They went enterprise. It used to be somewhat of a competitive, consumer-friendly...
I just wanted a fucking computer, dude.
Entry. It used to be a consumer entry to the Mac for people who somewhat want... They have a monitor, they have a keyboard, all that stuff. They just want to get into the Mac ecosystem. They don't want you doing that anymore. Now they want to push you to an iMac. They want to push you to a MacBook or... No,
the Mac, the iMac's cheaper.
Yeah.
If anyone out here is listening, do not buy the $800 Mac Mini.
No.
Ever. Just go buy an iMac.
Or a Nook.
Furiously cheaper. Or a Nook.
Or a Hackintosh Nook.
Yeah.
I don't know I don't know how to do that. I don't know how well... I don't know how well that transforms into...
It's honestly not as hard as it sounds. But I mean,
you're probably going to need a few other things too. You're probably going to need like that AirDrop chip, that.
No.
You're not going to have AirDrop.
You're not going to have it. The thing is with a Hackintosh, You're not gonna have iMessage. You're not gonna have AirDrop.
Right.
Which, if those are deal breakers for you, go spend $400, I guess. To me, that's not worth it.
Or just get an iMac.
Yeah.
Or a MacBook.
Because like, honestly,
this is not for any.
just go buy an iPad Pro.
This is not for any consumer.
Work on that.
This is an enterprise product. That's just the end of that story. They release an enterprise product, and it looks really nice. Like, they do make these things look fucking awesome. And I would love to have one with my 5K screen and, you know, mechanical keyboard and just run it as my encoder. But at that price, nope, not interested.
It's at that price, but it's also it's not even like as cool as it used to be, because it's now big. Like, for that size computer, it's actually kind of big. You can make ITX systems way smaller. A Nook is literally the quarter of the size of it. Mm-hmm. Like, it's
but
not
Nook
even.
Also has an external power supply to it. That was one thing I found out.
It does, yeah. But
a big power brick with it.
And like, most of them like that too. But it's one of those things where it's like, it's. I wanted more if you're gonna charge $800 for an i3.
I told you, dude, don't ever expect Apple to release anything reasonable.
No, not anymore, dude.
It's not gonna happen,
dude. No, they used to be, and that's one of my biggest problems with them. Is it used to be like
an affordable, good company.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll even get into it.
Let's high-end tax company.
No, let's go to the next product, MacBook Air.
Yes,
that's reasonable to me. Like, you should still, if you're gonna spend that much, you should probably buy a MacBook. But like, that's what I expect from Apple tax.
Right.
That the MacBook Air, it looks amazing. It looks like a Surface laptop, to be honest. Like, the bezel size, I mean, it's exactly identical to mine. And that's amazing. Like, that's a great laptop. I'm not knocking it for that. It's like $100 more than for the same thing.
For the same parts.
Yeah. That's like maybe 150 more. That's what I expect. That's completely reasonable. Where it's like, to me, that's worth it. Mm-hmm. But when it's like a literal 100% upcharge, like, fuck you too, dude.
Yeah. Well,
I'll pay 20%. I'm not gonna pay fucking 100%.
And I don't really think it's so much an Apple tax as an enterprise tax. I really just don't think that that's a consumer product anymore.
It's not.
It's just an enterprise product for server farms. They showed
all
of the slides, which were server farms, you know?
It's entirely is, because it's also only SSDs, which that's the weirdest part about it, is I almost expected them to kind of go like Optane, because that would make more sense for a server farm. You have a large cache structure and a big fucking cheap hard drive. That's not going to fail. SSDs, fast as hell. They're sick. You want them as a consumer. But, okay, now to get a 2 terabyte, they want like $600 for a 2 terabyte SSD, which a 2 terabyte SSD isn't cheap. And theirs aren't either, because theirs are super fast.
Yeah.
But $600,
they're only super fast because they solder them on, and it's just Mac OS that optimized that T2 chip that just blazes
a lot
through
of it's
it.
that, but
it's not really like a different.
Good.
Yeah, they're definitely reliable. That's for sure.
And SSDs, a 2 terabyte SSD even still is like $300, possibly $400, and you can find super cheap brands, because this is all NVMe. So like, if you're getting the full PCIe speeds, like, no, those do still are kind of pricey. They're not $600. They're more like $300, sometimes $200. The problem with that is, a 2 terabyte hard drive that's almost as reliable and for server work is just as fast, $50. And you know what? If it breaks, I can fix it, and I can hot swap it. I can't hot swap a soldered NVMe for $600 for the same, when I'd have the same server space for $50. Like, I don't get that as it's the server side, but at the same time, that's why I don't do IT, because that world is beyond ludicrous to me.
Yeah, they showed very specific. Let's just move on. Enterprise, forget about the Mac Mini. No one's getting it. But the MacBook Air is pretty compelling. You're getting I want to actually play with one because I like the MacBook, the 12-inch MacBook. I like the size of it. It's super thin and light and sleek and feels good, but it's just a piece of shit. It's just slow and it's just a piece of shit. The screen sucks on it. So now they upgraded. Now they didn't upgrade the MacBook. They upgraded the Air.
There's no reason to buy the MacBook.
This is the new MacBook.
Yeah,
I don't know what they're gonna do with the MacBook.
There's no reason to have the MacBook still.
Yeah, and I saw people kind of upset about that. I'm just like, there's no reason to be upset about it. They released
Some people really like it because it is bigger. It's still bigger than the MacBook. It's a 13-inch versus a 11, 12, whatever.
Yeah, but you're getting. I mean, it's not that much bigger. You know, it's really not.
Yeah.
It's not that much bigger, and you're getting a much better machine with 2 Thunderbolt 3 ports and not just one. Also, it's got a 8th gen. They just spec'd it up. It's got 8th gen in there. The dual core chips. It's got the new Retina display. You can get up to 16 gigs.
That $480 NUC. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm still so fucking salty over it.
He's been waiting for it for years.
Yes, I've been waiting for like 3 years for this.
And he got Enterprise. That's what we in the biz call getting Enterprised.
You can buy an Intel NUC that's fucking faster than it for $480. That still has Thunderbolt.
Does it have 4 though?
No, it's got 1.
Didn't think so.
Dude, I need 160 gigs going of external data transfer. That dude.
All right, so yeah, you can get it
so
up
I can
to
plug in my 4 fucking mining cards because it doesn't have a GPU.
Yeah, then you have to spend another 6. All right, enough with the fucking mini. So this has the Touch ID. It's got integrated Intel graphics, which is meh. But a good thing that came out that not many people know about is the MacBook Pros are going to have Vega in them next month.
They are.
And that is when I upgrade my MacBook Pro when it comes out with Vega.
No, that's something to get excited about too because it's what, 16 and 20? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Vega 16 and Vega 20 are going to be the 2 chips. Vega 16 is basically a 560-ish because if you think back to their old
desktop, right?
Right. The desktop.
Not
their
the
old
next version.
not you're right. But like an actual 560. Because if you think back to their old AMD that weird series where they released the 2200G and the 2400G, that was 8 and 11 compute units. And what the 16 and 20 means is compute units. So the 2400G that had 11 was already good enough to play a decent amount of games at 1080p. Like it like for integrated graphics, it was insane. If you have 20, that's the fucking graphics chip that was on the little Intel NUC that we got so crazy about at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Like if you're getting 16 and 20, that's a 560, 570 territory of performance.
And I want to see if they increase the price on it, because if it's the same the same price, then I'm just gonna immediately get one because I need to upgrade. Because this machine here only has the 555X Radeon chip, and it's great, and the CPU's fine. But when it comes to like OBS and streaming, which I do stream off of it in my office, it's kind of slow. So that's why I've been looking at Windows laptops, but I think I get the one with the Vega, I can side boot into Windows, that's where I run my OBS, and I can also play fucking any stupid game.
I'm expecting that to be pretty damn good for generic, like you could start touching like a 1060.
Yeah, it's around a little less than a 1060.
Yeah, like that's more than good enough. You know what I mean? That's really good.
Yeah. So I'm pumped on that. I mean, I'm probably gonna spend an arm and a leg, but I also have the good resale value on this one. I'll probably get a good $1,000 out of it at least.
That, and I mean, or you can just go buy an Air because I kind of want the Air, dude. I miss the old Air.
Well,
the only thing they did though is they put the fucking butterfly keyboard on it.
Yeah. The butterfly keyboard.
Not for everyone.
If you use it a while, I bet you get used to it. Might even like it. I love it. I love the fucking butterfly keys. I hope they never switch.
My calluses, dude, from banging my hands into the table.
I love the fucking keyboard. I'm super fast on it. But that's me. That's a thing that I like. I like mechanical switches too, but For me, I don't mind. I don't mind sacrificing like that, the thinness for having that kind of keyboard. It doesn't bother me that much.
Yeah, and I mean that's totally fair. I want to go see one of these in person. Is actually, I wish it was a little bit cheaper, and I expect it to drop in price over time as the Air's been doing. It won't drop off super fast, but like, no, that's
They'll have a
definitely-
sale. They'll probably get down to like $1,300 for like a nice model.
that's a, I mean, dude, that's a compelling laptop again, and that's awesome because I loved my old MacBook Air when it came out.
Yeah.
Like that's like, they actually did it justice. It's got a beautiful screen. The size is fucking perfect.
Yeah. I think they said it was like 4 pounds or something.
I can't remember, but like it's
light. It's light as shit.
It's light. No, it's less than that, I think, because it's lighter than the current Air.
Let's see if we can find that.
Yeah, it's lighter than the current Air. It's like 2 something.
Let's see if we can find it. It's got this Thunderbolt 3, which is great because, like I said, I have a dock that I love. I plug in one cable and everything works 100%. My hard drives, my 4K monitor, my audio interface, my microphones, my speakers. That's
So you need
nice
4
to
of
have.
those, right?
No, just one. Just actually, the MacBook 12 would be fine, but I like having 2. 2 is good. All right, let's see if we can find the some of the actual specs. So here it's a 13.3-inch Retina display. Look at the tech specs actually.
I mean, it's
So it goes up to it's a 1680 by 1050. So you're getting around 1080 performance, but it's Retina, so they're saying it's 2560 by 1600 native resolution with 227 pixels per inch. So that's plenty.
fine. Yeah.
That's almost 1440. It's a little bit over 1440. Photographers would love it.
It's the cheaper MacBook Pro by $100.
Yeah.
And that's, once it gets a little cheaper, that's really compelling.
They're saying it
Because
is 13 hours of iTunes movie playback.
Yeah,
So
because
it's a
like
great battery life.
the thing you have to think too, though, for that $1,200 model, it is a dual core processor. Because
Right.
that is the biggest change. Is it's not the 15-watt
Right.
processors anymore. It's a 7-watt ultra low powers,
Right.
which does make a huge difference. But it also, I will say, it increases battery life a lot
Yeah.
in general.
Yeah. You're still
Look,
going to be able to watch 4K movies. You're
Yeah.
still going to be able to edit photo. Not really going to be able to edit video. Maybe 1080. But
Like if you're a writer, go buy it.
a writer, photographer who's always out in the field. Anyone who's in that sort of space, anyone who needs a laptop and who doesn't need much out of it, this is awesome. This is really nice, and it's 2.75 pounds.
Yeah,
which is fucking
same
awesome.
2 something.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
No, like hell yeah, dude. I'm actually looking forward to next year now too, because I'm
And it has a headphone
I
jack.
could have that dream of Surface laptop, or MacBook Air. Like, let's have a war, dude. Like, let's actually have competition in that space, other than whatever weird thing HP is going to come out with next.
The Folio, leather laptop. And they still have the 13-inch MacBook Air that you can buy for $1,000. Don't buy that, please. Just spend the extra $100 and get the one with the Retina display. So yeah, and it has the Touch ID sensor without the touch bar, which I think I would rather prefer than the touch bar, but whatever.
I don't.
It's a nice laptop. It's a nice laptop. And then next, before we get out of here, iOS 12 got updated to iOS 12.1. I just installed it. It fixes the beauty bug. I'm not calling it Beautygate. I'm calling it the beauty bug because Apple called it a bug when it wasn't a bug. It was a failure of technical specs. But they fixed it. It's so much better. It's so much better. It is so much better how the photos are in portrait mode. I am so surprised they released this phone without that fix because the photos that I was taking before were mushy. Like it looked like I was taking them in low light all the time, only on the selfie camera, and they look great because it's got a great sensor in it, but it just had looked like the beauty effect where it was smoothing my skin over. Now, I think people are gonna be surprised at how much better these selfies are. Like they are so good. There's detail in them. they really fucked up. They really fucked up releasing that phone with those type of, because so many people buy these phones to take fucking selfies. Let's be real, right?
Yeah.
They released the fucking XS with those selfie features, and they fucked up tremendously there, because now with the update, it's so much better. So if you haven't updated to 12.1, go right now to your settings, update it. Your selfie camera is now fixed. It's now, it's miles better. It's insane. And I did a little video on the channel before, but it's live and it's through it has all the bitrate compression, so you can't really notice it. I'm going to do an actual side-by-side comparison. I don't think Kate has updated her phone yet, so I'm going to take pictures with her XS Max before the update and then after the update, and we can compare them. And you'll see. You'll be like, holy shit, that's way better. So I don't know what the fuck. They also released like new emojis, and I don't know. Who cares about that? I just cared about the selfie, the camera fix, and they've done a much better job there. So overall, I thought the keynote was really, really interesting. Just the iPad Pro and the MacBook Air, plus the vibe in the room. I don't know if you saw it, but people were going nuts in New York City. New York loves their MacBooks, so I guess that's why. They love their Apple, and they were going insane. Then they had Lana Del Rey come out and perform, and that woman is so gorgeous, man. She is something else. She did a wonderful little performance, and immediately after, I ordered my iPad Pro. So I was very happy with what they came out with today. Other than the Mac Mini, a little bit disappointing. We didn't see AirPower, which I don't know when the fuck we're going to see it. I don't know if we're going to see it next year. When is their next keynote? In spring, right? Sometime in late spring? Are we going to get it then? I don't know. Are we going to get new AirPods? I don't know. I know that there is an iPad Mini on the way. I know that there is a Mac Pro on the way. The Mac Pro might be the one that Jerry wants. That might be the Jerry machine. The one where you can upgrade the parts. We've been hearing about it, rumors for almost 2 years now.
It's
of an upgradable actual Mac Pro that you can swap out shit, you know.
It's either that or I'm gonna buy an iPad Pro and a Nook.
That's what I would do. I would buy an iPad Pro and fuck the Nook. Just get the iPad Pro.
I would just use the Nook as a Hackintosh so I can get it off my main PC.
Yeah. You could do that too.
Or just not.
That's what I'm saying. Just get the iPad Pro. I can't wait to get in. It should be here on the 7th, right before we leave for Vegas, which should be fun. Hopefully I'll bring it with me and do everything on it. You can take a look at it, play with it.
Yeah.
We'll do a destination NoLife show.
Never come back. Get killed in Vegas.
But yeah,
filming our new tech shit.
Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Make sure you follow us on NoLife Digital at Instagram and Twitter, as well as our website, nolife.digital. There's no .com. It's just .digital. And we shall see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Peace.